All right, I decided to go on a journey and I thought that you guys might be interested in coming along with me. So here it is. As you see, I am a physically fit guy. And I get asked, or not even asked, most of the time I just get accused of being enhanced. And it's crazy because like, yeah, thank you, but no, I haven't went down that path as of yet. The reason that this is a journey is because I have decided that will be the path that I eventually will choose to take. I have reached a peak in my physical body that is beautiful. I love this peak. I love where I'm at. I am very happy with myself. I'm very happy with my body. It's not necessarily that I feel the need to be any larger or any more defined or cut or stronger, any of those type of things. It is, though, one of my goals to compete at the highest level. And so because of that drive and competition, I have decided that I will choose to enhance my body in ways that are safe, in ways that are controlled and monitored in order to get me to a place that I feel will be able to compete at the highest level. I hate that this door is open. Let me shut that. At the highest level. And these two. Like you do one thing, you fix one thing, and you realize other things are broken. So to compete at the highest level. So that's what the plan is. That's what the goal is. If you guys are interested in following my journey, definitely tap in. I'll be updating and posting here consistently as possible, making sure that you guys are along for every step. I'm going to show workouts. I'm going to show my energy level. I'm going to show, my physical features, how it changes, adaptations, things that are, noticeable or maybe even unnoticeable to the eye that I feel internally. And we'll just go through this whole thing together because I think it's very important for us to start to understand the other side of this. I know a lot of times it gets demonized. I know a lot of times it gets abused. All different types of things happen when you talk about the enhancements, but it'll be good to see it from a perspective where someone is approaching it from a scientific, from just a general fitness enthusiast type perspective. So let's go on this journey together. And let me know if there's anything that you think I should include, anything that you may want to add as, your anecdotes or advice or anything of that nature, especially if you've already been down this road before. I would love to hear from you. And then, let's see what happens, man. I'm excited. Again, I know that this isn't something like, as you can see, I'm physically fit, bro. Like this is just me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is 100% me. I put in the work. I built this body over 16 years. So I definitely have earned the right to make this type of decision for myself if I feel that it's necessary. I've definitely developed myself well beyond the average human being. I've definitely put in the time, over thousands of hours in the gym. And here, I definitely am happy again with the results. I literally could end it here if I wasn't choosing to compete and wanting to have the highest throne possible in that competition. If that wasn't the case, I'd just be living like this, going to the beach every other day, having Mai Tais, chilling, sipping, enjoying the views and, just soaking it all up. But, at this point, this is something that I still desire. This is something that I want to accomplish. And I hope that you guys can appreciate that. I hope that you can maybe learn something, maybe share something that others can learn from while we actually have this experience together. So again, follow, like, share. Anybody that you know that is going through similar or choosing similar, let them know, like, hey man, somebody's about to go ahead and document their progress and show what it looks like to build, first off, a natural physical body, because that's what you're seeing now, and then what it looks like once that whole natural and physical body is enhanced. Because most of the time, people think results like these, the ones that you see on me, only come from enhancements. But here I stand with no enhancements, so let's see what happens once I enhance this. That's going to be that's the sauce. That's the magic. That's the juice, as they say. And we'll see what happens. So yeah, man, like if you want a body like this, I can show you how to get a body like this. And obviously you won't need to do the things that I'm going to be doing next. Now, when I get that next body, we'll compare. Maybe it's not that much different. Maybe I've done so much work and I push my body to its limitations or close to them that even when I do the enhancements, it's not going to show too much. Maybe that's an outcome. We don't know yet, right? So we shall see. But at the end of the day, you do know that this body that you see before you, this is what it is. This is God's work. This is beautiful. You know, I definitely attest some things. I mean, I don't know, genetics, they didn't play a role. Obviously, genetics are going to be how things are shaped, like abs, six packs, when you have not parallel, but when they're identically symmetrical and everything like that, that's completely has to do with genetics. It doesn't have anything to do with how you're working out. Your frame itself, the amount of muscle you can pack on, possibly that's genetics. It may not have anything to do with how hard you work. So there are going to be some things that like each individual are going to have as roadblocks that are different than another individual. And that's something that in the fitness world, we don't address often. We just look at idealism and we create one style, one body type, and that should fit all. And it never is that way, man. Like most of us are very different from the next. And what you can achieve in your body and in your physical journey, that is personal. When I first started my physical journey, I literally only wanted to give myself the best possible body that I could have. I didn't even look at anybody else. I didn't even care about what anybody else could do or what they had or what they looked like. I just knew that I was out of shape. I knew that I was gaining weight in places that I'd never had weight before. I knew that I was inactive and not putting myself out there to, create and have an energy flow to maintain any type of health consciousness. So I decided to put myself in that mindset. And the things that I wanted to achieve were things that I thought that I could do for the rest of my life. That's where I was. And so I started walking. I started, walking up a hill every single day, at least 5 days a week. And that literally helped to drop a lot of the weight. I started swimming because I wanted to get that V. I knew that the V came from swimming, or at least cardio, any type of cardio that makes your, aerobic exercises will bring you the V. Look at people that have natural V's and they don't necessarily work out doing a whole bunch of abs. You'll see your gymnasts, you'll see your swimmers, you'll see your runners. Those are aerobic exercises, and that's the reason why they have that shape. So if you want that shape, mimic the things that they do, right? So I started, I did walking, I did swimming, and then I did weights. I started off doing that just to give myself the best physical body and best internally healthy body that I possibly could. I started juicing. I didn't just drink straight juice. I ate the pulp first so that I could have the fiber that helps to, slow down the intake of the fructose and insulin sensitivity situations. You don't want to spike all the time. So I did juice. I did it in a smart way. I did intermittent fasting. All of these things were what I did along my journey to give myself the best healthy outlook. And I wanted to do this by a certain birthday. So I had done this. I started this particular journey about 6 years ago. And I wanted to I gave myself about, I think it was like 8 months, 9 months before my birthday was. And I just worked hard. I just kept going. And before you know it, I just fell in love with it. And it did become something that I could do on the daily, something that I saw myself doing into the 60s and 70s as I got older. Now, the amount of weight I may lift in the gym may have changed, but going to the gym and putting in some time and some effort in order to shape and give myself the aesthetics that I wanted, that will be every day. That will be consistent. That will be for the rest of my life. Eating a certain way, making sure my mind knows what I'm doing, not just eating for taste and pleasure, but eating for purpose. I want to add these type of minerals to my body. I want to add these type of vitamins to my body. I want this type of outcome. I want it to affect this. Those are the ways that I started to eat. So a lot of times as humans, we don't recognize there's 3 different ways. You can eat for purpose. You can eat for necessity, meaning I'm about to die. Like I need to eat, right? Or you can eat for like what I like to call decadence, right? So those 3 different ways to eat, which one do you think controls you the most? Most of the time we're eating for decadence in America. If you're an American watching this, you probably eat 90% of the time for decadence. You are choosing to eat because of pleasure. You want to eat something that feels, that satiates, that gives you so you choose the restaurant, you choose the type of food that literally gives you that. All right, cool. There are other scenarios where you're eating just to survive. You literally don't care what it is, you're starving, you need to eat in order to just literally have enough fuel to be able to do the things that a functioning body needs to do. That is the second reason that people eat. But in America, that is not often the primary motivator. It's not often that you're just eating to survive. Even if because technically you could go without food for a day or two and be fine, okay? Don't trip on that. It's not about just, I was hungry that day, so I had to eat anything. Most of the time, that's addiction. That's literally parasites inside of you that are pushing you to think that you need something immediately. That's normally not the case. Try to, lower your candida, But other than that, if you're not eating for purpose, to purposely achieve an outcome, if you're not eating for survival, then the only other reason that you're eating again is for decadence. And decadence is pleasure. Decadence is, again, to, just get that fix, whatever that may be. And when you stop doing that, when you start eating more so just for the purpose side of things, that's when you're able to obtain bodies like this. All right. This isn't a body that's just built off of decadence. This isn't a body that is built off of survival. This is a body that is built off of purpose. That is how you. So anyway, just getting back to my point, I chose to live my life in a way where I would actually do something for myself that I would do daily and that I would do for the rest of my life. And eating the right types of foods was one of those things that I decided to change. And I've been doing that now for the past 6 years. I'm eating with purpose. It got me down to a certain size. It got me down to a certain weight. I remember I couldn't fit my jeans, man. I got to that point where it's just like, man, I had a waist that was a size, what was it? About a size 40, you know what I mean? I was up there. I was getting 38, somewhere around 38, 40. I had never been that big before personally. I normally was around a 32, you know what I mean? 30 even. But now, I've gotten back down to around a 32 again, and here we are. And I feel, like I said, I feel great. These are things that I can do for myself every day. These are things that I can do for the rest of my life. That was the goal. It was a mental shift. I wasn't just trying to have a diet. I wasn't just trying to get a get healthy, get fit quick scheme. I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to do something that I could do for the rest of my life. And I did that. Fasting, eating with purpose, and then just like I said, the exercising, the walking, swimming, any of these types of things. These are things that you can do daily, or these are things you can do up into your 70s, 80s, 90s even. I love seeing people in the gym at that age, man, because it just reminds me that it's possible. And a lot of times if you sit there and you talk to them, you soak up some game, they'll tell you, man, like, yeah, well, it was a struggle at one point, but when what they realize is consistency was the actual perfect solution. Consistency. Don't take them long breaks. Don't take them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days off. Don't do that. Don't. You don't do that for anything else. I guarantee you eat every day. You know what I mean? I think you breathe daily, right? You drink water and other things daily. Why can't you be healthy and also be fit daily? Why can't that be a goal? So anyway, the people that I've talked to that are in their 70s and 80s and still at the gym, consistency is a major factor. They talk about the fact that they don't take long breaks. They don't take periods because they understand that once you do that, it's harder to get back. That's the whole point. It's not that the break is going to break you. It's not going to make your body maybe change. But what it does do is mentally, it makes you take your foot off the gas, and then you just coast back into that, you know what I mean? You start to decline, you start to decay, you start to break down over time. So that first break might have been 2 days and you thought nothing of it. Then you extended it to 3, then you extended it to 7, then it becomes a month. And before you know it, you're no longer even doing the thing anymore. And now it's just a memory. Now it's like, I got to get back to that. And it's so much harder. That's the point. Once you've done that one time, you know how hard it is to get back. Don't leave. Stay. Once you've left, once you know how hard it is to get back, bro, don't leave, please. I promise you stop lifting, you stop working out, you stop walking. It's going to be like hell to get back. I promise you. You don't want that smoke. You don't want them problems. All I can say is inconsistency is undefeated. Once you introduce inconsistency into the program, it will win and take over. It will no longer allow you to consistently do something because it's just so much easier to do random stuff. And so that's the problem. Once you're in a routine, lock it in, man. Lock down. Don't let nothing or no one deter you. You have to be your own guard. Protect it at all costs. Anyway, so that was my method. I did that 6 years ago, locked in, haven't stopped since 6 years later, and I'm still here. Look, I can show you obliques. And of course I'm going to throw up some pictures to show you. It wasn't like this 6 years ago, bro. This is work. But again, I appreciate what I've been able to achieve. And we just going to try to turn it up one notch, man. We're going to turn it up one notch. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to be like. But I do know that when I've seen individuals that have chosen to take that path in a safe and efficient way, the results have been quite pleasant. For competition. Remember, I'm talking about for competition. I don't need this for regular everyday. I'm crushing most people in regular everyday because the things that I just listed to you. The 3 main ingredients were, working out, eating with purpose, and was it 3 or was there only 2? Maybe there are only 2 main things: working out, eating with purpose. Those 2 things alone has shaped my world to be this. So I'm good. But like I said, I'm in competition. I am a competitive bodybuilding athlete, okay? I am a professional. I am worthy of a crown. And now it's time to go out and get that. And so I have no problem, none whatsoever, playing the game. All right. I can play the game. So that's what we're going to do. And let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe some haters out, maybe not even haters. Maybe there's some people, some wisdom saying, hey, bro, don't do that. Yeah. You know, I just think it would be better if you just, stuck to what you got going on, man. Like just, no wins enough is enough. You've outdone yourself already. Let's just count our wins and, let's pack it up. There might be some people in the comments that can share some things that may give that type of enlightenment. And who knows, maybe I'll listen. But, won't know until we get to that point. But anyway, I just wanted to share this video to show you what's going to be happening here in the near future, or actually starting even right now. I'm not starting anything right now, not today anyway. What I'm starting right now is to document what it looks like before. So you'll be seeing over the next couple of weeks, the before, okay? I'm just going to document the before, show you guys what it is, show you what I've been working with, how I've been working out, give you my whole little routine. So, free game, watch and learn. But then outside of that, I'm going to go into the next phase shortly after. And then we're going to document that as well. We're going to see we're just going to see how it looks. Juiced up, baby. Let's go. How the juice is loose.